Sherlock only used a ruler to measure the size on the photo, and deduced that the murderer of the woman was her husband. Based on the photo comparison, one of the masks on the wall slightly shifted after the victim was killed. He guessed the killer hid the weapon inside after the murder, but Inspector Jack beside him said it was impossible.
They were not complete idiots. We did check behind the mask and there was no gun there.
I need to examine this room.
To prove this theory, Sherlock went to the crime scene, and sure enough saw that one decorative mask on the wall had slipped down. Watson, as agreed, drew the victim's husband aside. He immediately stepped forward and removed the mask. Strangely, there was no weapon inside that could kill. Only a nail had come loose from the wall, but this discovery made Sherlock even more certain the man was the real killer of his wife.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
I'm so sorry, so sorry. I love folk art.
Sherlock confirmed that Inspector Jack was right. The police investigation had always been misled by the victim's husband, which caused the case to remain unsolved for a year. When Mary was shot, her husband immediately chose to call the police, claiming his wife was killed by a burglar. When the police arrived, the burglar had already vanished. From the moment the neighbors heard the gunshot to when the police arrived, only 8 minutes had passed. If the husband Tom was the murderer, he would have to dispose of the weapon and return home within 8 minutes. They did not find the pistol used to kill Mary at the scene or nearby, so Mary's husband was quickly ruled out as a suspect. Inspector Jack always felt Tom was lying, but could never find a clue to prove Tom was the killer, so he had no choice but to ask Sherlock in America to return to England for help. After Sherlock returned to England, he immediately obtained the information provided by the inspector. Based on 2 photos, and the nail beneath the mask, he was able to deduce Tom's entire process of killing his wife. He believed the reason the police could not find the gun was because the killer completely destroyed it after the crime, and to do that only a plastic gun could be used. During evidence collection, police photographed a bottle of milk in the victim's fridge. Sherlock believed this was not milk, but a bottle of acetone solvent that dissolved a plastic gun. First, the killer printed a finely crafted plastic gun, using only a nail as the firing pin to shoot bullets. The nail found in Tom's house during the day had obvious burn marks, which perfectly verified Sherlock's theory. After Tom killed his wife with the plastic gun, he immediately dismantled the weapon, then threw it into the prepared acetone, and then called the police claiming his wife was killed by a burglar. At the same time, the white plastic gun slowly dissolved in the acetone. By the time the police arrived, it had become a milky white liquid in the fridge resembling milk, but the only iron nail in the gun could not be destroyed, so Tom disguised it as an ordinary hook holding the mask. This is why the third mask was lower than the others, because he was in a rush to prepare everything before the police came. Inspector Jack was very excited after hearing Sherlock's reasoning, but the evidence they had was not enough to arrest Tom. They could only start by checking the machine that made the gun. After investigation, they learned that an employee of Tom's company had bought a 3D printer before Mary was killed, but when they arrived at the employee's apartment, they found him murdered lying on the ground. At that moment, Sherlock suddenly thought of something and crouched down. Sure enough, on the surface